Mary Kay Ash, when she did things, she did them grand. And we do that because Mary Kay is our founder. Grand, extravagant. Do you know the root to the word extravagant means to exceed the limits? It means no limits. It means how big can you dream? How big? But you've got to create a mindset that you're unstoppable. And our founder did that. And I did that 19 years ago when I signed my agreement. You know, prior to Mary Kay, I was a single mom for 12 years. And at one time in my life, I actually was a very young mom. I was a teenage mom with my beautiful daughter, Amber. In a very short period of my life, I had Amber. She was 20 months old. Nathan was 6 months old. They're 14 months apart. My oldest son, who is a wonderful, wonderful man. And had them 2 babies, 6 months old and 20 months old. I was on public aid. I didn't have any family I could call, anybody for any money. So I was literally, when I tell you I was a single mom, I was a single mom with no support, nobody to call. And I had 2 babies, so I was on my own. What do you do? The government paid for my college education. I thank God every day that the government did that. And I didn't want to limit myself. I didn't want to limit myself with my family at that time in my life. So ladies, when I talk to you today from my heart, I want you to know I know what it's like to be broke. Okay, when I say broke, I'm not talking about broke. I'm talking about broke. Okay? Broke, busted, and disgusted. Okay? And, I had the food stamps. I looked forward to the cheese on public aid. I stood in the grocery lines, embarrassed to put groceries back. But it's a choice to succeed or fail in life. And it's a choice to operate in faith, and it's a choice to operate in fear. And they can't operate together. So if you're going to take your life to a new level, and you're going to be unstoppable, you've got to make a decision today that you're going to be a woman of faith. And that you're going to step out, and you're not going to entertain fear any longer. You see, there's no room for fear in success. People talk about fear is okay. No, it isn't. A little bit of fear, it's not good. Because you know what? God didn't give you a spirit of fear. So it's not okay. So I know what it's like to be that broke. And I made a decision to fight back. I looked at my kids and said, they're my purpose. They're my reason. You got to find your why. My kids have always been my why, and I consider my greatest accomplishment in life, my family. So as a single mom, I went through school and became a respiratory therapist. I taught for junior college, went from there to teaching as a regional, I'm moving into medical sales and becoming a regional marketing director. And that's when I was introduced to Mary Kay. I'd never tried Mary Kay, never thought I'd do Mary Kay. In fact, when I was introduced to Mary Kay, I had become very much a corporate snot. I was living in Chicago and traveling every other week, and I thought that was cool. And it's not cool, and there's nothing luxurious about it unless you're in Mary Kay, right? And I met my consultant on an elevator as I was calling on some doctors. I met her at 9 a.m. in the morning, and I want you to look at the person next to you and say, today matters. Right here, right now. It matters. Because, see, I'd never tried Mary Kay. I met my consultant on an elevator, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she said, have you ever tried Mary Kay? And I said, I'm allergic to the product. I never tried Mary Kay. She said, when was the last time you tried it? I said, well, I can't really remember, but I would never use it on my face. Now, some of you ladies are thinking, gosh. And what I want to challenge you today is the woman who's intimidating you the most is the woman you need to be talking to.
That's right.
Yeah. You need to quit reaching down and trying to save all the broke, busted, disgusted people in the world. Okay? We can make a lot of money and then give them money. But not everybody wants to be successful. Success is a choice. I wish I could tell you that I think they do. But some people are satisfied just being the same. Being the same. Being the same. But if you want to step out and you want to be the woman that really truly steps into her vision, you can't stay the same. Because every living thing has to grow. Every living thing has to grow. You can't stop growing. Well, I ended up going to her home that day. I met her at 9. I went to her home that day. Can you imagine? I met her in Oak Park. Went to her home that day. And I bought over 226 hours of the product. Yeah, somebody who was allergic to the product 3 hours before. Didn't know I would do Mary Kay, but God did. And sure enough, I lost that job. And I called up my consultant and I said, I've got to be a director. I've got to do this fast. I don't like women. But I know this business plan can hold me up financially and hold my family up. Of course, still a single mom. Let me tell you something. When I signed my agreement, I didn't question this business plan. You know why people fail? They doubt. They doubt. They doubt something solid. You see, I don't question that this stage is going to hold me up. Is this going to hold me up? And I didn't question when I signed my $100 kit that this company and the history and the legacy and the principles and the billions of dollars that was going to back me up, that the only way I would fail is if I chose to fail. So I signed my agreement. Within 6 months, I'd replaced that income. And what I know about leadership is influence and leadership is replication. And Mary Kay Ash taught us that from the very beginning. And I've never looked back since, and I've been the sole provider of my family my entire life. My husband, I married along the way to my husband, but Pete, who is his name defines him well, he is a rock, sexy Greek rock. And we have a son named Sammy, and Sammy just turned 15, and he's a business owner. In fact, in the last 3 months of this year, Sammy made over $167,000 in his own business. Could you get excited about that? So I'm going to talk to you about making big, right? And I retired him, so life went on, and yes, I've made millions of dollars, but what is it that inspires me? It's the vision. And I want to read something from Mary Kay Ash, but before I do that, I want to bring something out here. My little props. I have a little potted plant, and I have some seeds right here. I know some of you can't see them, but these are seeds. Yeah, we got flowers on the package. When you look at this package, what do you think's going to happen when you put this in the ground? How do you know that? But I mean, how do you really know that? You're believing the picture on this seed, aren't you? You believe it. You believe it so much that you're going to take this seed and you're going to put it in the ground and you're going to believe this can grow yourself a rose garden, right? It's no different with the vision that God gives you in your mind. You see, if you can see it, you can have it. If you're willing to take the action, if you can see it in your mind and you're willing to act, you can have it. God does not put a vision in somebody's mind that you cannot do. He just doesn't do it. He's not there to tease us. He's there to empower the very DNA that He's put inside of us. So if you can see it, ladies, you can have it. What is it that you see? I want to read you a quote from Mary Kay Ash when she started this company. And I, of course, read this book continually over and over and over again. But I want to read you. This is Mary Kay Ash's word. I know I could do it. I didn't. I had no crystal ball. I had to do it. I would never have a second chance to put my dream into action. If Mary Kay folded, I would be broke and work for someone else the rest of my life. So no matter what, I just couldn't give up my dream. No matter what. She had to do it. My children said, "You can do it." My children said, "You can do it." And that's all I needed. Mary Kay has given you, has given me an invitation to an abundant life. You can do it. I'll never forget when I came to Mary Kay and Amber Ray had, in part of my recruiting book, she made me a little picture and said, "You can do it. Love your girl." Oh. And today, Amber Ray is a brand new Mary Kay beauty consultant. You know, I was flying Chicago somewhere, and I was sitting on the plane, and I had my little fancy little glittery purse. Some of you know women love bling. They don't love bling, they're depressed. Anyway, and I had a purse there. This little girl, you know, kids tell you so much. This little 4-year-old comes on the plane, and I'm sitting in business class, and she's got, you know, her little sassiness going on, and she looks at me, and she said, "I like your purse." so I like your backpack. She says, yeah. She took it off, scooted her little self into business class. And she was this lady back, and she goes, and I had some bling on. She goes, why do you get to dress like that? And her mom wasn't really, you know, she kind of dressed down. Don't ever dress down for anybody. You make them dress up, you hear me?
That's right.
Don't ever make them dress down. And her mom was dressed down, there was no makeup, she looked terrible. Nobody looks good without makeup. And she put her daughter in a gray shirt, a 4-year-old in a gray shirt. Who puts a 4-year-old in a gray shirt? I said, well, who dresses? She goes, my mom dresses me. I wouldn't dress like this. And I looked at her and I just laughed and I said, well, you're beautiful. And she's like, you know, telling her mom to move on. You know, she could tell she's a little irritated. But all I could think of is how many women we meet every day. And you're dressed not the way you see yourself being dressed. Someone else has dressed you. They've dressed you with their words. They've dressed you with their expectations of you. They've dressed you with the perception of you, but the only thing that matters is how God sees you. And if we base what we're going to do on other people's opinions, we're never going to do anything, because we've got to look at the Goliaths. We've got to look at the adversity in our life is the very thing that's going to make us great. David would have remained a shepherd without Goliath. So we've got to welcome those obstacles, and Mary Kay Ash did that. I want you to imagine our founder, 1 month before this company started. I want you to imagine the decision that she had to make when her husband died 1 month before this company's doors opened. 1 month prior. And her accountant told her to liquidate. Her attorney told her she was going to lose it all. But her kids said, you can do it. Find your why. Find your why. Engrave that vision in your mind. Believe what's on that package. Believe the commercial. Believe it, believe it, believe it, because you are a walking bag of seed. You are a walking bag of seed. The other thing is Mary Kay started, I gotta just point these facts out. She had 10 products. That's it. I think today we got way too much, sorry about that, way too much information. Way too much is what I think. I may be wrong. I don't think so. It's Mary Kay. Here you go. This is what Mary Kay had. It's right here. About 10 pieces of product. 50 years ago. And they made millions. And let me give you the stats on Mary Kay when she first started. First of all, she started with 19 members, and there were 9 friends. How many friends have you not offered this opportunity to? 1. 9 friends, and out of those 9 friends, 4 remained consultants, and 2 became nationals. How many friends are we not asking because we think, what? Don't you believe in the uniform you're wearing? In the team that you're on? Because when you're proud to wear the uniform, you're going to tell everybody to join your team. Right? Are you proud to be on your team? And Mary Kay took this company, 10 products, and went from 9 team members to 200 team members, just like you, 19 members in her first year. 19 members, 200 in her first year. She made $34,000 in her first 3.5 months. That was 50 years ago. How many of you get excited about $34,000? Now. I mean, out of $34,000, are you making $34,000 right now in your first 3.5 months? That's a lot of Star Consultant orders, right?
That's right.
You see, we're not thinking big enough. Mary Kay was thinking big 50 years ago. We've started to limit the bar in Mary Kay. Star Consultant is about enough money for you to pay your groceries. It's about 1 to 2 parties a week. Paying groceries, maybe a car payment. How many of you would like to make a lot of money? How many of you like to make a lot of money?
Let's make more money.
Money's influence. People don't follow broke people. And I tell you this, my husband will never leave me because I'm too rich. So, the more money you make, the sexier you get, baby. Isn't that right? So it doesn't matter. So how many of you are ready to make some money? You know stats because it just blew my mind when I read this. How many of you know we're people of destiny? Yeah. How many of you want to be in Beijing with me? Yeah. Some of you we're living in a box, right? You live in a little box. You can fit everything you think and do in this little box. Right here. That's how about what you're living in. How many of you ready to burn your box? Well, let me read you this. Okay? She went from 9 to 200 in her first year, 34,000 in her first 3.5 months, 198,000 wholesale in her first year from opening her doors, which is 400,000 retail. 400,000. That was 50 years ago. 800,000 by her second year. She went from 9 friends to 9 to 200, 200 to 3,000, 3,000 to 11,000, and 11,000 to 40,000. Wow. Wow. That's the standard in this company. And that was set 50 years ago. How many of you are ready to break through those limits?
That was Facebook.
I believe it's time to believe. I believe it's time to believe. And we've got to stop saying, I'm going to do this but. Because every time you say but, you've zeroed out anything you ever said before you opened your mouth. So the buts have to go. Right? The if, can, but, it can't, they've got to go. And then I want to read you one of my favorite scriptures. It's the Message Bible. But he who can sow super abundantly far over and above all that we dare ask or think, infinitely beyond one's highest prayers, thoughts, hopes, and deepest desires. We can do anything. We're unstoppable. We can do anything. What are your stop signs? Are they fear? Rejection? Overcoming rejection is going to make you rich. Friends? Family? Self-esteem? Money? Sickness? No more. You're unstoppable. Mary Kay, she had many obstacles. She endured death many, many times. She endured it all. She endured women that she had poured into her walking out of a meeting with her and starting a company. She endured it all. Why? Because she loved us. Mary Kay Ash was unstoppable. How many of you are ready to be unstoppable? How many of you are ready to get rid of excuses? Now, I want to tell the story with my son Sammy. Sammy's a freshman in high school, and he's a football player and a runner, and he is the only freshman that's on the football team, and he's a running back, and a running back has to run through everything. The big players, you know they're coming at you, and he's not afraid. He knows what he's coming up against. He knows those obstacles, right? He knows what team he's on. He knows what jersey he's wearing. And one time there was a game, and he was telling me about how you were out there, and they were all, yelling at each other on the field, and the guys would tackle him, and he'd get up, and the guys would look at him and say, "How you like that?" And Sammy would look at the football players twice, 3 times his size, and go, "I like it." And then they would come and do it again, and, "How you like that?" "I like it." Let's do it again and again and again. Because you see, Sammy knew that he was called to run that ball. He knew he was called to be that leader that was going to step out and get the touchdown. Each and every single one of us are called to take the torch, to take that ball that Mary Kay has given us. And we've got to not think about how we're going to get it. We're not going to think about anything. We've just got to get the touchdown. We've just got to play the game and know that we are unstoppable. And yeah, things are going to happen, but you're going to get up and you're going to shake it off and you're going to say, "How you like that?" "I like it." When you get that mindset, nothing will stop you. When you have created a vision so powerful in your mind, you are passionate. Things will manifest that you have never seen before because you believe it. And nothing around you is going to stop you. Not one person, not any negativity. It doesn't matter because you go back and zone in on your purpose. You zone in on your kids. You zone in on whatever it is that God has created you to do. And you say, "I like it. I like it. Let's do it again." And so I want you to stand to your feet for a second. And I want you to look one more time at your neighbor and say, "I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. No limits, baby. No limits. No limits. Now, at the beginning of the year, You don't faint. I mean, you just, God's a God of increase. You're going to get bigger and better and brighter, and your light's going to bless more people, and your influence is going to go, wow, right? Are you ready for that? You're going to have the opportunity to just shine the way that you've been created to shine, but you've got to remember right now, you've got a choice. You can sit on the bench, okay, and you need Twinkies. Or you can get out on that green, okay, and you can take the lead. You're here because you're the leaders of this company. Only leaders come to conferences, and you can decide to take that lead, and you can see yourself on the bench at seminar, or you can see yourself on the green, which is the stage. And I want you to close your eyes right now, and I want you to start envisioning, because this is the most powerful thing you ever do, is to see yourself on that green, on that stage. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you in your head? What's it feel like? What's the look on your family's face, your husband's face, on your director's face, on your national's face? You're coming off that seminar stage. You're in that brand new director's suit. You're a brand new future exec. You're brand new national. You can see it. You can feel it. It is right there. How's it feel? Open your eyes.
I like it.
So this is your year. This is your year. The limits are off. And ladies, let's remember, if Mary Kay can take 10 products and make 34,000 in 3.5 months, and we've got technology and everything else, ladies, keep it simple. You see, what the mind can see, whatever you can see, you can have. If you can see it, you can have it. But you've got to take action and get off the bench and get on the green and take the lead. God bless you.